Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FPL Backbenchers. This is your host Somnath, and today, as you can see, I'm all alone. Uh, Anjan is traveling, and we cannot get hold of him. Basically, uh, he's been traveling throughout the week, and we are doing the pod today because later down the week I'll be traveling from tomorrow onwards. So, yeah, unfortunately, we had to do it like this only. So this will be a very short pod, guys. Uh, I will not keep on blabbing for a very long time. That will be pretty monotonous. So as I was doing the pod alone, I thought, no, why not change the background and stuff as well. So just let me know in the comment, guys, if the background is too conflicting on the eyes. Just trying out something new. You like it, you don't like it, please do let know in the comment section. So yeah, what do we talk on this very short pod of ours? Well, I think we should. I will rather get directly to the point. That is, it's double game week time. It's one of the few remaining double game weeks that we have in this season, and it is one of those mega double game weeks that we have. So basically, seven teams are doubling in this particular double game week in 33. So I'll just dive in straight into that. Just give a brief overview as to, according to my opinion, who are the best players to own in game week or rather in double game week 33. Keep bear in mind, guys, this is just my opinion, right? This is not the ultimate thing that is there. You might have a different opinion. You might be going on and rather selecting different players. So if you are doing that, please do let us know in the comment below once again. Before moving on, please thank you all for liking and subscribing to our channel. Whoever has done it so far, those who have not done it, please do it. Really does help our cause, and it also helps a lot more people finding us out on YouTube. Right? I don't know why am I nervous whenever I'm doing this alone, but yeah. Anyways, it's a bit weird. Uh, okay, moving on. Let's get on to the upcoming fixtures. So as you can see, it's a very long game week. Um, Starts on Saturday. So Saturday, I think. So, yeah, it's a pretty early deadline to be honest. Yeah. So Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time is the deadline, and in UK it will be somewhat around 11:30. So yeah, it's a pretty early deadline. Saturday, just bear in mind. And it's a very long game week as well. So this starts this Saturday, ends next Friday, essentially, or rather Thursday night, however you put it. So yeah, uh, straight away let's get into the fact that there are, if I'm not wrong, seven teams that are doubling. So the teams would be Manchester United, Arsenal, Leicester, Newcastle, Crystal Palace. I want to say Palace double. Okay, no, Palace don't double. So United, Arsenal, Leicester, Newcastle, Brighton, Burnley, Southampton. Yeah, that's seven teams that are doubling in this particular game week 33. Uh, so the question and rather the hot topic for many is whether to free hit or not. I will tell you guys about my situation. I have two free hits remaining. Right? So I was trying to build like no, I'll not say an optimum free hit squad, but basically I was trying to build a free hit squad that I would have, or rather I would be doing if I was inclining towards a free hit, which I am still not decided by the way. In stating that, I don't think the fixtures, particularly for the double, stand out as such. To be very honest, there are a lot of attractive single game week fixtures as well, which might get overlooked in all the hoopla and the frenzy of double game week. So to mention especially the single game week fixtures that are really essential for anybody who is even free hitting. You need to keep this in mind. First is definitely Spurs against Brighton. I mean, this is needless to say, especially with the kind of form Spurs' attack rather is in. I felt personally Spurs were very lucky to keep a clean sheet in the last match against Villa, but their attack is performing exceptionally well, especially the likes of Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, and even to an extent Kulusevski. So Spurs against Brighton at home probably is a no-brainer, even if they are not doubling, because simply because of the ominous kind of form that they are in, and also the fact that they are in a battle for the fourth place with Arsenal. So I don't think they will be letting any steam off, or no, they will be putting their foot off the pedal. So it will be steamrolling all the way through. So Sun is definitely a very, I mean, this is like being Captain Obvious, but for anybody who does not have, I don't have Sun, I don't own Sun. So Sun is a no-brainer. Sun is a very good pick. Even Harry Kane. If you're not somehow owning either of them, I don't know how that is possible. But if it is the case, I think you should prioritize getting a Spurs attack. If you haven't got any of them, I think Spurs, rather Son would be the smarter play, considering he's cheaper than Harry Kane, and well, he is the attack. He is very potent in the attack. Apart from this, the next single game week fixture that is very interesting is again another fixture against Brighton. This time it's Man City at home against Brighton. So this is interesting in the sense because, as you guys know, the last game week in game week 32, the City versus Liverpool match ended up in a 2-all draw, essentially predicating that neither City nor Liverpool would be, or they would not like to at least lose any match henceforth going forward, because the point difference is the same. Anybody losing is basically handing over the title to the other one. So, and especially City's attack, you know, well, they always look fluent, they always look beautiful, but even more so, I feel for the past, month and a half, they have been really at it. Kevin De Bruyne, scintillating form, Raheem Sterling, brilliant form. So City's attack is something again, and we all know about the potential of Joao Cancelo. There's no point in speaking about that once again over the season. So yeah, players like Cancelo, players like KDB, these two are absolutely nailed in my opinion in the City lineup. Barring this, if you have to go for anybody else, Raheem Sterling is a very good. I would not say he's a punt. The only punt factor is whether he will be starting or not. He's not really a punt. He's a premium player in FPL. So these are wonderful options, probably options that we should not be overlooking. Even I would say the Liverpool against United fixture, I can see Liverpool beating United absolutely. Probably it will not be as comfortable as the match at Old Trafford that happened, where Liverpool blew past United. I think it was 5-0 or 5-1. I'm not sure, but well, it was a Salah hat trick game. Now, as per the Liverpool equation right now, since there are a lot of double game weeks, there is a lot of uh, question going around, or rather a lot of discussion going around the fact whether it is essential to keep Mo Salah or not. So my take on this especially is that Mo Salah is the definitely he is the best FPL player at present that is available in the game. In stating that, I think it is still viable to sell Mo Salah. Why? Because he also happens to be the costliest player in the FPL game. And if you manage to spread your funds after selling Salah correctly, judiciously somehow, I think even with Salah returning, you can be up on the deal. So if you are replacing Salah to a Son, let's say, that almost saves you over 2 million right now. at the time of recording at least. So, and on this particular form, you can say Sun will probably match Salah like to like, if not outscore from now on till the end of the season. Plus, that 2 million can be utilized somewhere else to probably upgrade somebody to like a KDB, or probably go big at the back, or probably, I don't know, take a punt on somebody, right? Also, I feel that there is, you don't need to go completely Liverpool less. There is another factor uh, in the form of like Diego Jota right now is again back on the form what he was displaying at least, mm, I would say like 6 7 game weeks back, right? So he is absolutely on a very good goal scoring run and a form, and I think I hate using the word coverage. I am not saying that Diego Jota can cover Salah, but I think he can probably match Salah point wise from now till the end of the season. Yeah, there will be the occasional benching, but how Liverpool's attack is, at least their attack is supposed to be the best in Europe, and they are. The underlying statistics do prove that. I can still see Jota being heavily involved, even if he is not starting the game. He will definitely be coming on. And considering that he is right now 8.3 million compared to Salah's 13.2 million, I don't think the point differentiation between Jota and Salah right now, or at least going forward from now till the end of the season, is as high to justify the 5 million price difference. Especially if you consider also the fact that from now on till the end of the season, probably a lot of people have mini league ambitions. A lot of people do have, you know, high OR ambitions in trying to get into some sort of rank bracket at least. So a lot of risks and a lot of punt will be taken. You will end up not captaining Salah in all those game weeks. So especially if you're not captaining and ceiling, I'm not saying Salah ceiling is not high, but if it is in comparison not that high, then I think it's a bit difficult to justify the 5 million extra excess that we're paying in price over Jota, right? So these are the single fixtures that absolutely need to be considered. They are not at all bad fixtures by any means. Things to notice: Bulls and Leeds do not have a match this game, right? This is due to, I think, cup ties uh, of their opponents, obviously. So they have a blank game week. So if you have a Leeds player or a Wolves player, I think the priority would be to sell them. Getting on to the doubles, uh, the obvious, at least not standout fixture wise. So if you talk about captaincy wise, so that's how generally the thought process goes, right? So captaincy wise, straight away, we probably would be looking at Manchester United. Problem with them is they have been in woeful form. We have seen that they couldn't score against Everton. It's no disrespect to Everton, but they have been conceding quite a lot, and they were not exactly stellar in defense. And them not scoring was not due to Everton playing exceptionally well. It was a lot also due to United actually squandering a lot of chances, especially in the forms of Rashford and Elanga. Uh, and even to a certain extent, I think Ronaldo should have converted. Um, Bruno also did not play exceptionally well, but I felt that he was the best out of the lot of whoever was playing on that pitch on that day. So, in stating that, I think the first fixture at least where United doubles kicks off with Norwich at home, I feel that is a very captainable fixture because United are already faltering a bit in the race to be in the top four. So essentially, they can't drop any further points. They should not have dropped even the last few points that they have dropped. But I don't think that they will just give up the fight and roll over and just keep on losing. there will be certain sort of backlash. No better place to do that than at home at Old Trafford. So I do expect a very high scoring, not a very high scoring, but at least a moderately high scoring match against Norwich. So yeah, players to target, I will not touch their defense at all because I expect them to concede against Norwich as well. That's how bad the state of their defense is. If at all you have to punt for a defender, my choice personally would be towards Alex Telles. So he's, I think, the only one that will probably entice me. But I'm again not sure whether players like Telles and Dallo they start. They are clearly better than their counterparts, at least in my books. But they don't start consistently, so I will not be very comfortable. If you are on a free hit, would you be going ahead with David De Gea? Probably you can, but United States defense does not really fill me with confidence simply because of the fact as to how much goal that they are conceding, and also their second fixture is against Liverpool, where they will definitely concede. So if they do miss out on a clean sheet against Norwich, it's practically a very wasted transfer. So I will not personally advise towards United's defense. Attack wise, also I have a very limited bracket of players that I would personally consider, and this would be my suggestion if somebody is asking this to me. I would limit absolutely it to Bruno and Ronaldo. If you're on a free hit and you, these are definitely the option. But if you're not using a free hit, I would not drastically change the structure of my team just to fit in Ronaldo. I think Bruno would be easier to fit in your teams if it's a direct sell from Salah or somebody that you might have in your team. Even probably if you are more adventurous and you want to sell Son or De Bruyne, which I don't recommend by the way. Um, but if you want to do that, I think that's a much more viable route for a lot of people. Considering you guys have Kane in your team, do not, like, I forbid you to sell Kane for Ronaldo because that's a very dumb move. That's a very short-sighted move. If you're not on free hit, you can go bonkers. You can do whatever you want. But if you're not on free hit, that transfer is permanent, and uh, there is absolutely no question that Harry Kane has the better run from now till the end of the season. I don't think Spurs have, barring game week 36, where I feel a lot of people will be using their free hits. I think Spurs have a very smooth run throughout from now till the end of season. So do not sell Harry Kane for Cristiano Ronaldo. These are the options that I'll be personally exploring from United. Apart from this, the next team that I feel the best fixtures are to Newcastle. Both of them are against. Both of them are at home. First of all, secondly, both of them are against teams that are relatively uh, overplayed. Like Leicester would have played in the Europa Conference League almost late Thursday. They should be tired as a second leg. They need to win that tie to qualify against PSV. Also, Crystal Palace would have played against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. So, is that semi-final or the final? I think that's the semi-final. Yeah. So, yeah. So they would have played bad. So bad of me. Sometimes I get confused. So yeah, they would have played against Chelsea against in semi-finals, and I would imagine that that would be a pretty intensive overall experience against a top tier team. Keep in mind though that Conor Gallagher is cup tied. He will not be playing. Also, he is a loanee from Chelsea, so he'll definitely not be playing against Chelsea. So he is somebody that would be fresh for that particular match. And Conor Gallagher is kind of like the engine of that particular team, Crystal Palace. So there is a decent chance that Newcastle would be having favorable fixture against potentially teams that are tired after their midweek adventures. Players to target from Newcastle, I think their defense is a good punt. So like I have Dubravka in my team. I think he is a good option, but I would not go ahead and buy Dubravka potentially, if that makes sense. If you have to buy a defender or into Newcastle's defense, I think Fabian Schär, Matt Target, and Dan Burn, all of them are pretty much very good options. Personally, I personally would prefer Target over all of them. Oh, sorry, even I think Matt Ritchie would be, yeah, Matt Ritchie is a decent option, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I just checked. I had a brain fart moment. So yeah, Ritchie apparently has not been playing for a very long time. I don't know why I thought that he's playing. So I personally feel so. I was checking like the underlying stats. I I feel for me personally, Target would be the best option. He has the best underlying statistics now. He would be on corners as well. Since Fraser is injured, I expect him to be on corners and even certain, at least indirect free kicks. Um, we have seen that Fabian Schär has been taking the direct free kicks for now at least. So he would be my second option, second go-to option that I will probably go to for a defender transfer. Barring this, I don't see much threat from Dan Burn in that sense. I don't see any other defender that I would probably opt. Also, Target would be on the top of the list of player that I'm targeting. He is a bit expensive than Shah. He is a decent option. Apart from this, uh, a lot of people are concentrating on Chris Wood after his penalty score last game. I personally would prefer Saint Maximin over Chris Wood. I feel that he has a lot more avenues and potential to points. He gives assists. He has the potential to actually draw a penalty against his opponents. He can score, shoots long range goals as well. So personally, I'll say Saint Maximin is a much better option from Newcastle. Apart from this, Chris Wood is not a bad option. He will take the penalties if Newcastle do. Moving on, Arsenal have a double game week. I expect both of the matches are away for Arsenal. One is against Southampton, one is against Chelsea. I'm not very hopeful of the Chelsea match, to be very honest, especially after the way I saw them play tonight against Real Madrid. They were on exceptional form, so would be difficult for Arsenal to turn over Chelsea. But the Southampton match, I wouldn't say that Southampton are playing bad, but I think they're not as laser focused as they usually are. Right? Might be due to a lot of factors. Again, I would not be very comfortable with, if you are already holding, then fine. Not that comfortable with doubling up, definitely not doubling up on tripping up on Arsenal's defender. Defense is probably not going to go for me. If you have to go for a defender, I would say Gabriel is a good option if you can afford Gabriel. Barring this, I feel my choices would be limited to Saka and Martin. That's it. Nobody else. I think Arsenal will score in both the matches, so um, that shows my confidence. I'm not sure if Arsenal can keep one complete, if not two. So that's something to take consideration of. Another team who has potentially good, at least on paper, fixtures are Leicester. Both are again away. One is against Newcastle, one is against Everton. Problem with this is Leicester would have played that midweek game, so need to track. Definitely do wait up after that match is done. See who has played, who was rested, who got subbed at what point of time. Barring everything, if everything is fine, I feel Madison Barnes standout option. Definitely. I wouldn't personally go for the forward option, even if I like right now I own Iheanacho, but I just don't see as much value there due to rotation. Daka is there, Vardy might get fit, so I would probably not go there. Leicester's defense again is something that doesn't sit right with me, plainly due to the fact that they're very frequently rotated. I feel, or some they're not really sure of their position. Um, Wesley Fofana is a good option, but it's not sure. There were a lot of times last season when he was subbed earlier than 60 minutes. So the manager is the same, the player is the same. How can we be sure that the outcome might not be the same? If at all you want to go for a Leicester defender, I think Michael is the play. So if you can buy Cashmas Michael, is if, that is if you're convinced that Leicester will keep at least a clean sheet, if not more than that. So yeah, that I think Schmeichel can be a shoot buy. Apart from this, Burnley has a double game week. Southampton at home, and the other one is West Ham away. I personally wouldn't buy anybody from Burnley. Uh, I have two players in my team. I'm actually looking to sell a Burnley player. I would not recommend buying Woodpeckhurst. Nick Pope can be a consideration. If he keeps a clean sheet, then it's a double-digit haul for sure, by the virtue of the saves that he'll be making. But he hasn't been really, or rather, Burnley in general hasn't been in a really good form of late. They have been pretty poor defensively, so I will not go towards Burnley. Brighton, I don't even want to discuss. They have probably the worst double game week, City away and Tottenham away. Southampton has a double game week, and the only players they have against Arsenal at home and Burnley away. So the only players that I will consider from Southampton would be Che Adams, who is on a very good form. I know a lot of people are going for Broya. I probably personally would not go for Broya. I don't trust the guy somehow. Che Adams is a really good option. Apart from this, I think James Ward-Prowse is somebody that you guys should look at if you're looking to punt on an option. He's guaranteed to play. He'll be on penalties. He'll be on free kick, and we know that he is exceptional on free kick. So yeah, I think these are the set of players that absolutely I will be looking and targeting towards. There are still probably some hidden gems, um, but that will border towards being too much punty. Right? Let's have a quick look at the fixture ticker or the fixtures that are to come. So this again same from the last game week. Ignore the first column, that is game week 32. If you see from game week 33 onwards, City have a very good run till the end of the season. So if you don't have free hit and if it's a normal transfer, do prioritize buying City. They have absolutely sensational double game weeks. Also, if you look at Spurs, barring that game week 36 double against Liverpool and Arsenal, it's a very decent, more than decent run. Leicester as well. Leicester is some is a team that you probably can judiciously invest into, since they are the team that has the most fixtures remaining, right? So from now till the end of the season, Leicester will have three double games. So these are certain teams that you need to keep in mind if you don't have a lot of free hit available or a lot of ships available, and it's free transfer from here on till the end. Moving on to my team and my plans. I had a very poor game week, to be honest, guys. Last game week, I transferred out Salah and took Bruno captain. Did not work out. Even worse was I had a lot of points on my bench, so I had to draft on my bench who kept a clean sheet. I had Thiago Silva on my bench who kept a clean sheet. I had Anthony Gordon on my bench who scored a goal against United. So yeah, it was absolutely night bench. Let's look at my team. Okay, before I discuss the team, to sum it up, if I were to build a free hit team, it will probably be looking something like in goal. I will probably go for either Nick Pope or Martin Dubravka. In defense, I will keep Cancelo, even though he has single game week fixtures. Apart from this, I think depending if you're taking Pope, I would probably go for a Matt target. Even if you have gone for Dubravka, I can double up. I think Newcastle do really have a chance of taking a clean sheet. So doubling up might not be the worst idea. So the third defense option is interesting. Personally, I think if you have to take a punt, then in that case, I feel it has to be between an Arsenal or a United defender. But considering that United have one match against Norwich, I think that's a higher clean sheet probability rate. So, yeah, I think if you want to go for Alex Telles, I don't think that's a bad option. That's not something personally I would do. I would not touch United defense by a country mile. But if you want to take that one, yeah, I think Alex Telles is a very good option. Else, as I said, from Arsenal, you can definitely go towards Gabriel. Apart from so moving from defense, so that would be a three-man defense. Moving to midfield, preferably a five-man midfield. Sorting out your single game week midfielders, I think Son is a shoe in. If you can afford De Bruyne, he is a shoe in. Apart from this, double game week midfielders, probably Saka, Madison, and let me have a quick look. Yeah, and nobody else. So I would, or rather, I wouldn't mind doubling up on Spurs with Kulu if you have Kulu, or I don't see any other midfielder that will probably give you points. I think that's about it from midfield point of view. If you are building a wild card, I think the fifth midfielder should be Jota. But if you're not doing that, then in that case, I feel yeah, this midfield is fine. So find a way to get a city midfielder, preferably Kevin De Bruyne, Heung-min Son, Kulu, and looking at the fixture, an Arsenal midfielder and Madison or Barnes, whoever fancies you. Moving up front, I think so. The structure that we are generally gradually moving towards is 3-5-2. Up front, I feel Harry Kane should be there, but if you're on free hit, I don't see the point of you not taking that or rather chasing that upside and not taking Ronaldo. So definitely, I would if I'm solely on a free hit. Ronaldo is an option. Along with that, if I can afford Kane, nothing like it. If I can't, it will be a bit difficult. In that case, my preferred second option would be say Maximin, right? But I do understand if you want to go for a Jay Adams or Chris Wood, somebody like that. don't go for boot first. We rarely complete 60 minutes as it is. If you have him and if you are considering or thinking about selling him for a hit, I would take that in mind, to be very honest. And I'm not joking. You will be paid dividends for that down the line, or at least you probably in this game week itself. So yeah, that's about it. I have actually blabbed on for a very long time. Let me quickly move on to my team and wrap this up. So as you can see, I have not done any transfers. The team is also not properly set. I have both Pope and Dubravka. It would be Dubravka in goal. The consideration for me is whether I should play my free hit or not. I feel if I make like 2-3 transfers, I have of FT. So according to me, if I take a -8, I think I can set up a decent enough team for game week 33. That's why I'm considering whether I should be, punting and playing the free hit chip. Something to be considered, and have to think about it. Right now, I'm not sure. Uh, I probably wouldn't be captaining Bruno Fernandes. No other reason, but then again, I don't see many other captaincy options. So it's all a bit murky. I hope at least the discussion about the double game week and the potential players helped you out. I'm sorting my team out as well right now. My priorities, at least I can state to you, I will be getting in a Newcastle defender. So that is something that I am prioritizing right now. Apart from this, as you can see, Rafinha does not have a fixture in my team. So I do have a fair amount of dough in my bank. So I have around 5 million. Consideration is whether I upgrade it to Sun or somebody else. If I do that to Sun, Dorothy is missing for the rest of the season, so it makes sense to sell Dorothy as well. So probably Dorothy to a Newcastle defender and Rafinha to somebody like either a Sun or a ADB. Have to be seen. Let's see what happens. And I'm very pro towards selling Mbappe first. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry if I've taken or rather blabbed for a very long time. Do let me know if you have enjoyed this, if you have enjoyed the background AV, and if you enjoyed the entire. Right. Good night, goodbye, and have a very healthy and happy game week. Hope you are.